ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 10 चैप्टर 8 टेक्स्ट 20। श्री शुक उवाच इत्यात्मानं समादिश्य गर्गे च स्वगृहं गते नन्दः प्रबुदितो मेने आत्मानं पूर्णमाशिषाम्। इत्यात्मानं समादिश्य गर्गे च स्वगृहं गते नन्दः प्रबुदितो मेने आत्मानं पूर्णमाशिषम्। इत्यात्मानं समादिश्य गर्गे च स्वगृहं गते नन्दः प्रमुदितो मेने आत्मानं पूर्णमाशिषाम्। श्री शुक उवाच नित्यात्मानं समादित्य गर्गे च स्वगृहं गते नन्दः प्रमुदितो मेने आत्मानं पूर्णमाशिषाम्। श्री शुक उवाच इत्यात्मानं समादिश्य गर्गे च स्वगृहं गते नन्दः प्रमुदितो मेने आत्मानं पूर्णमाशिषाम्। श्री शुक उवाच इति आत्मानं समादिश्य गर्गे च स्वगृहं गते नन्दः प्रमुदितो मेने आत्मानं पूर्णमाशिषाम्। माताजी। श्री शुक उवाच इति आत्मानं समादिश्य गर्गे च स्वगृहं गते नन्दः प्रमुदितो मेने आत्मानं पूर्णमाशिषाम्। श्री शुक उवाच Shri Shukdev Goswami said, iti, thus, Atmanam, about the absolute truth, the supreme soul, Samadhishya, after fully instructing, Garge, when Gargamuni, Cha, also, Swagraham, to his own abode, Gate, had departed, Nanda, Maharaj Nanda, Pramuditaha, became extremely pleased, Mene, considered, Atmanam, his own self, Purnam Ashisham, full of good fortune. Translation. Srila Shukdev Goswami continued, after Garga Muni, having instructed Nanda Maharaj about Krishna, departed for his own home. Nanda Maharaj was very pleased and considered himself full of good fortune. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Krishna is the super soul and Nanda Maharaj is the individual soul. By the instructions of Garga Muni, both of them were blessed. Nanda Maharaj was thinking of Krishna's safety from the hands of the demons like Putana and Shaktasura. And because he possessed such a son, he thought of himself as most fortunate. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Sadakayam Tadati Swapadankitam. Vande Ham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So in this shloka, Nanda Maharaj considers himself to be very fortunate for having son like Krishna. Yesterday's shloka, there is similar word that in the translation it is said that demons, asuras cannot harm the demigods who always have Lord Vishnu on their side. Similarly, any person or group attached to Krishna is extremely fortunate because such persons are very much affectionate towards Krishna. They cannot be defeated by demons like the associates of Kamsa or by the internal enemies and the senses. The word fortune in American Heritage Dictionary, the word meaning is given as something in relation to lot of wealth, destiny or luck. Also it mentions about auspiciousness. And further it says that the word fortune came from the word Fortuna, who was in Greek mythology. She was considered as a goddess of fortune. So Srila Prabhupada in Srimad Bhagavatam, in so many pages, he very beautifully explains different aspects of fortune and being fortunate. As we just saw in Shloka 10.8.18. Also, Nanda Maharaj, as a father of Krishna, feels himself to be a great fortunate personality. Similarly, at the time of advent of Lord Krishna, in the introduction chapter, when Kamsa is about to kill Mother Devaki, and that time, in that intense situation, when Vasudeva is placed in such a situation where he has to find some way to save Mother Devaki, and in that shloka also the same word, which is used here, that the most fortunate, Mahabhaga. So Nanda Maharaj is mentioned as Mahabhaga. And Vasudev is also mentioned as Mahabhaga. And Srila Prabhupada explains in that purport the meaning of Mahabhaga. Who is Mahabhaga? Srila Prabhupada says that Vasudev was a great fortunate father of Vasudev, who was a sober, upright, unagitated, and as a Mahabhag, he knew how to pacify the most cruel person. Also, Srila Prabhupada says that Vasudev knew how to forgive the bitterest enemy. And then Srila Prabhupada mentions that one who is fortunate is never caught by tigers or never bitten by snakes. And here Vasudev is placed in a situation where Kamsa was holding with his one hand, like a tiger's grip, he was holding Mother Devaki's hair, and with another hand, snake-like sword was ready to bite and destroy Mother Devaki. And Vasudev as Mahabhag, in this intense situation, he is trying himself to pacify and to terrify Kamsa. He glorifies him as a great hero, tells him, she is your sister. By killing your sister, a woman, a helpless woman, how will you gain fame? It will simply gain you infamy. Also, he tells him, he tries to terrify him by saying that such sinful act will follow in your next life also. He tells him that by being envious to some living entity, that envy continues in the next life also. That living entity will follow you in your next life also. He tries to give him justification that just like one step you take off from a ground for walking and put another step, similarly living entity changes from one body to another body. And all this reasoning, all this attempt to pacify and terrify Kamsa, it does not have any effect on him. And now, it is really a very intense situation. And Vasudeva thinks in his mind that maybe I will have to change my plan. And he thinks maybe Krishna may not live. Maybe my first son himself will kill Kamsa. And then, in that situation where Kamsa is placed in front of Nrushamsa, very cruel, and Nirapatram, shameless Kamsa, and that time his state of mind is explained that his mind was full of manasa duyamanena, his mind was full of anxiety and sorrow. And still, even in that state, how Vasudeva presents himself to Kamsa? Prasanna Vadana Amboja. He presented himself in front of Kamsa with a smiling face. Srila Prabhupada writes here that although all the events are pre-arranged by Krishna, a devotee must try his best to serve purpose of Lord Krishna. And here Vasudeva was trying his best to serve the purpose of Lord Krishna. And as a last, he puts his last proposal. And while putting his proposal, what he mentions to Kamsa, O sober one, as we saw just now, Vasudeva is considered as a sober most. But he mentions Kamsa, O sober one. And then he says that I am ready to offer all my 8 sons to you. Please spare Devaki's life. And Srila Prabhupada writes there that even a devotee is in the position of enemy, he is a friend of even his enemy. And here, Mahabhag Vasudeva, because he positions himself in front of his enemy as a friend, Kamsa agrees to the words of Vasudeva because he has a faith in Vasudeva's words. And then Vasudeva is pacifying Kamsa. Vasudeva is pleased that Devaki's life is spared, but still he further pacifies Kamsa. Prashasya means Vasudeva doesn't take any chance with Kamsa. And then when the first child of Vasudeva is born, again the mind of Vasudeva is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. When he was going with his first son to Kamsa, it is said that his mind was in great pain, krachrena, and he was fearful of breaking his promise, anratat, and he was very much disturbed, ati vihvalam. But still, when he goes in front of Kamsa, how he is posing himself? Samvatam, equipoised and undisturbed. And satya, he was in truthfulness. And that time, when Kamsa sees this Mahabhag Vasudeva, he immediately says that, please take your son away. I don't need your first son, I need your eighth son. And Vasudeva, he understands that he did not rely on this Kamsa's words because his mind was not in his control. So his words cannot be relied. Srila Prabhupada explains the meaning of the name Vasudeva. In one shloka, Srila Prabhupada says, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. In pure stage of consciousness, that pure stage of consciousness, Vasudeva is revealed without any covering. Srila Jiva Goswami says that before spiritual master, we put a word, Ashtottara Shata, 1008. And where he explains that this word is added to indicate that spiritual master is situated in a Shuddha Shattva. And that in that transcendental stage of consciousness, he helps to deliver Vasudeva to the living entities. So in this Shuddha Sattva, one simply serves Supreme Personality of Godhead as a matter of duty, without any reason and without any material impediment. And in that stage, Lord is revealed. So this is the stage of Vasudeva. Vasudeva is that state of consciousness, pure state of consciousness, who delivers Lord Vasudeva. And who is Mother Devaki? Mother Devaki is a mother of God, and hence she is also mother of all demigods. Devaki word mentions that she is mother of all demigods also. Why? Because since she is mother of God, and all the demigods come from God, so Shri Krishna, that's why Mother Devaki is also mother of all the demigods. In Srimad Bhagavatam, when Kamsa comes to kill the eighth female child of Yashoda, that time how she responds? As a wife of Mahabhag, the most fortunate one, she responds by telling to Kamsa, Kamsa, don't kill my daughter. Srila Prabhupada mentions that Mother Devaki's son's safety was already guaranteed in Vrindavan. And this was a baby of Yashoda Mai. Still, Devaki was so much worried and aggrieved that she tells, O most fortunate Kamsa, let there be all kalyan, let there be all fortune be befall on you. But please do not kill this child. And Kamsa doesn't listen. And in end, what happens? In the end, when Kansa is destroyed, and Kansa's wives, they come and they cry, and that time they say that we are devoid of all good fortune. There is no good fortune in our life. Also, in parental love, Vasudeva's sister, Mother Queen Kunti, she, in one of the shlokas, she explains, Krishnaya Vasudevaya, Devaki Nandanaya cha. In that shloka, Vasudevaya means Vasudevaya, means the son of Vasudeva. And Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport that in saying this particular shloka, Kunti Devi was feeling herself to be most fortunate, most favored by Lord. Why? Because Lord took birth in the family of, in his own brother's family he took birth, and she becomes a auntie, Fufi. And that's why she is most fortunate. And Srila Prabhupada explains about the position of Mother Kunti. He writes in the introduction about all the great mothers like Kunti, Gandhari, and Draupadi. He writes the explanation by saying that Queen Kunti represents Lord's success potency. Kunti was a daughter of Shurasena, and later on she was adopted by King Kunti Bhoj, who didn't have any children, so she became a Kunti. Pratha became Kunti, and Kunti represents the success potency of the Supreme Lord. And Srila Prabhupada explains in some other purports very beautifully that how Queen Kunti is a success potency of a Lord. In a shloka where Queen Kunti says, "O Rishikesh, master of senses and master of the lords, you released Devaki from the imprisonment of Kamsa and distress. And similarly, you released me and my children from the series of constant dangers." And in that purport, Srila Prabhupada says that in comparison to Devaki and Mother Kunti, Mother Devaki had at least Vasudeva to protect her, but Kunti had nobody to protect her. So, Lord provided greater protection to Mother Kunti. And Srila Prabhupada says that Lord favors that devotee who is in more helpless condition, who is in more danger. And Queen Kunti, as a widow, she was in more danger and more helplessness. And when there is a more danger, there is a more helplessness, Lord puts that devotee in a position where that devotee becomes more attached to the Lord. And when somebody becomes more attached to the Lord in that severe helplessness, dangerous situation, Srila Prabhupada writes that that means more success to that devotee. So Queen Kunti shows by her life that highest success of the life is what? Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So in spite of all the calamities, Queen Kunti is asking, let those calamities come again and again and again in my life. That means that Kunti is asking for that helpless situation, that dangerous situation where she can become attached to the Lord more. And in turn, by that attachment, all the success in that devotee's life is guaranteed. And that is how Queen Kunti, who has that motherly affection to Lord Krishna, she is most fortunate because she is most successful in her life. Also, in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, Mother Rohini is mentioned as Rohini Cha Mahabhaga. When we see the situation where Mother Rohini is, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned, it was not a very happy situation. Mother Rohini's husband was far away, not only far away, but he was imprisoned by Kamsa. And for a wife, that situation is very, very uncomfortable situation. Still, why Mother Rohini is mentioned as a Mahabhaga? Srila Prabhupada writes that she was most fortunate because she had an opportunity not only to raise Balramji, but she had an opportunity to raise Krishna together. So because she had an opportunity to raise Krishna and Balram, both of them together, she is considered as Mahabhaga. Let us see what is the fortune of Mother Earth. Before Lord Krishna appeared, the situation in which Mother Earth is placed is described in Srimad Bhagavatam when she approaches in the form of a cow to Lord Brahma She is mentioned as Ashrumukhi. Her entire face was covered with tears. She was Khinna, very much distressed. Krudanti, she was weeping. And she was Karunam, piteously she was crying. And then when Lord Krishna takes birth, what is the position? Mother Earth is mentioned as Mangala Bhuyishtha, very auspicious. All the nagars, all the cities, all the villages, all the pastures, grounds, all the mines, they became very, very auspicious. And demigods in their prayers, they mention that we are very fortunate. The word here used for fortunate is dishtya. We are very fortunate. Why? Because you have reduced the burden of Mother Earth. Not only that, but there is again demigods in that shloka mentioned that word. Certainly we are very fortunate. Again the word dishtya is used. Why? Because your lotus feet, marked with 4 signs of Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, and in addition to that, thunderbolt and flag, we will be able to see that mark of Lord's footprint on Mother Earth and so many different places. Srila Prabhupada mentions that Mother Earth was more fortunate than all the other planetary systems. Why? Because Krishna walked barefoot on that particular land of Vrindavan. And in all other places of Vaikuntha, Lord never walked without shoes. Lord walks always with the shoes in the places of Vaikuntha. But in Vrindavan, he walks without shoes. And in same place when Akrura saw those marks, he becomes overwhelmed with feelings of remembrance of Lord. Now, how Lord makes this fortune, gives this fortune to Mother Earth? It is mentioned by Tav Anukampitam. Seeing the distressful, helpless situation of Mother Earth, Krishna gave that mercy, that fortune out of Anukampa to Mother Earth. And when any devotee is favored by Lord, that devotee is also able to see those footprints of Lord in land of Vrindavan. Also, fortunate position of cows and all the gopis in motherly love. When Krishna enters the palace of Mathura, it is mentioned that Vasudeva had so many wives, 18 wives Vasudeva had. And all the co-wives headed by Mother Devaki, they had so much affection for Krishna. Srila Prabhupada says that there are 7 types of mother. One is a real mother, birth-giving mother, spiritual master's wife, wife of Brahmana, wife of a king, mother cow, nurse, and Mother Earth. And Srila Prabhupada says that father is a first spiritual master of a son. So father's other co-wives are also wives considered as mothers because they are the wives of a spiritual master. So here Krishna shows how to treat stepmothers. He puts his head on the feet of all the mothers, all the 17 mothers, and then all these mothers, they make Krishna sit in their lap and they motion Krishna with their affection, Sneha Suta, and they feed Krishna their milk. And with the tears of their eyes, Lord becomes completely wet with their affection and tears of the eyes. Similarly, same Krishna, Srila Prabhupada in this purport mentions that Krishna accepts motherly love of any living entity who gives that motherly love with love and affection to Krishna. So what to speak of the stepmothers of Krishna? In Vrindavan, Krishna accepts the motherly love of all the gopis and all the cows. In the shloka it is mentioned that Aho bhagyam ho, aho ati dhanyam vraja go ramanyah stanyamrutam pitamativ te muda yasam vidho vatsaratma jatmana yatruptaye dhyapi na chala madhyasha. Means that, O Almighty Lord, how greatly fortunate are cows and ladies of Vrindavan, the nectar of whose breast milk you have happily drunk to your full satisfaction. The word here is a muda, means full satisfaction. Pitamativ, he drank fully. Vraja go ramanya. Ramanya means all the gopis. And Vatsa Ratma Jatmana means that taking the form of their cows and children in a Brahma Vimohan Leela, Krishna becomes cows of all the cows, and he becomes a child of all the individual gopis. And in that position, as a calf and as a child, Krishna drinks motherly love of all the mothers. And how fortunate they are? Because Brahmaji in his prayer says, all the Vedic sacrifices performed from time immemorial up to present day have not given you as much satisfaction as much as you derived by receiving that motherly love from all the cows and all the mothers. It is also mentions that what is the great fortune of position of Mother Putna. Putna came in a position to give poison to Lord Krishna. She was the great fortunate personality as a sister of Bali Maharaj. Here is a wonderful story from riches to the rags and from the rags to the most richest. As a sister of Bali Maharaj, she takes position of a Putna because of that envy, that hatred for the Lord. But even as a Putna in the most unfortunate position, when she comes in the contact with the Lord and she offers milk to the Lord, Lord accepts that milk as an offering and he rejects everything else. And she is positioned as a mother, as an assistant to Mother Yashoda in the spiritual world. So that is the situation that Krishna gives, that is the fortune, that's the greatest fortune of a most unfortunate persons like Putna. We see in Ramayana that Jatayu, the bird as a vulture, is not a very good position. A very huge body, not so beautiful looking body, even eating habits, to eat meat of a dead animal, it's a most unfortunate position. But the same Jatayu, when he offers himself in a fatherly love to his body, to the protection of Sita and the service of the Supreme Lord and his consort, he becomes the most fortunate person. Even his fortune is much higher than Dashrath Maharaj, because Lord Ram performs the last rites as a father of Jatayu and places him as a father in the spiritual world. So this wonderful position from the most unfortunate to most fortunate is seen in this wonderful devotee's life. Being a father of a Lord, as a Dashrath, as a Nanda Maharaj, as a Vasudev, we see it's not a position, it is always filled with anxiety out of love for the Lord Krishna. Nanda Maharaj position as a fortunate position, it is mentioned in the same prayers of Brahmaji. Aho bhagyam ho, aho bhagyam, aho bhagyam. It is mentioned 2 times. That such great fortune of Nanda Maharaj, that how greatly fortunate Nanda Maharaj and cowherd men of all other inhabitants of Vraja, because there is no limit to their good fortune. Same Supreme Personality of Godhead, he comes with the shoes of his father Nanda Maharaj on his head, and placing him, trying to place that on his head, placing his position, he comes in front of Nanda Maharaj. That fortune has got no limit. Nobody can compare his fortune compared to the Nanda Maharaj's fortune. And in further prayers, Brahmaji explains the fortune of a devotee. He says, Tadastu me nathas bhuri bhago. Bhuri bhago word means that greatest of all good fortune. Why? Bhavetra vanyatra tuva tisham yena hamekopi bhavajajananam bhutva nishete tava pada pallavam. My dear Lord, therefore I pray to be so fortunate that in this life as Lord Brahma or in another life, whenever I take birth, wherever I take birth, I may be counted as one of your devotees. So here Bhuri Bhavago means if you are a devotee of that Supreme Personality of Godhead, then that is the most greatest fortune. Even in the position of an animal, Brahmaji is ready to accept the position even in an animal species. We see this in the prayer of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Let me be even the dog in the house of a devotee. Why? Because that is the most fortunate position. And then comes the supreme most fortunate position of Mother Yashoda. Srila Prabhupada mentions that how supreme is the position of Mother Yashoda. Supreme Lord Krishna, what he did not give to his own son, Brahma, Viricho, what he did not give to his own wife, Lakshmi, it is a Lakshmi Anga Samashriya, is one who accompanies Lord continuously. Even that fortune Lord did not give to Lakshmi Devi, not even to his foremost, topmost Vaishnava, Param Vaishnava, Lord Shiva. That position he did not give to them, that position was given to Mother Yashoda. So Mother Yashoda's fortune is the supreme most fortune in entire creation. Srila Prabhupada explains that Krishna is Ekala Ishvara, Krishna Ara Sabha Bhratya. Bhratya means subordinate. That Krishna is the only supreme Lord and all other are his Bhratya. But Krishna has got one more quality, that Bhratya Vatsya. Krishna becomes subordinate to his own subordinates. That is the great position of Krishna. And that Supreme Krishna becomes the most helpless child, fearful child, crying, hungry, fearful of her anger in front of Mother Yashoda. So this is the position of Mother Yashoda. Srila Prabhupada explains that that same fortune, misfortune, living entity always moves from the fortunate position to the unfortunate position. Shurpankha was the most fortunate in material terms as a wife, as a sister of Ravana. But when she came in the front of the Lord, her nose and her ears were cut off. Most unfortunate from the material point of view. But because she was touched by the Supreme Lord's brother, Lord Lakshman, she had a most fortunate position after many, many years as a devotee of the Lord. Similarly, Kuvera's son, they were in the most fortunate position of as sons of Kuvera. But in that celestial opulence, they became blind. Shri Madayandhayo, Mad Andhayo, they became blind with the celestial opulence. And where they went, where people go for a purification, in the same Mandakini river, they went to enjoy the bodily senses. And when they came in touch with Narad Muni, what Narad Muni says, although they have become blinded by this celestial opulence, Mat Prasadena, by my mercy, they will become a tree into the grounds, into the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. And by my Mat Anugraha, by my mercy, they will have a darshan of the Lord, and not only that, as a trees, they will remember all their past activities. That was the misfortune to fortune of the sons of Kuberas. So here Nanda Maharaj is he is creating a transformation by transplanting 2 trees. Transformation by transplantation. But Krishna knows about these 2 trees, and Krishna remembers his wonderful devotee, and he delivers these 2 trees. Same Narad Muni is also responsible for giving life to 2 more trees, that is Vasudev and Devaki. Vasudev and Devaki, when they were into the prison house of Kamsa, that time Narad Muni goes to Kamsa and says, your killer has been already born. He is none other than son of Vasudeva and Devaki. And call him. Don't kill Vasudeva and Devaki, but call Krishna and then you can kill him. And that time when Narad Muni is responsible for taking away Krishna from Vrindavan, for bringing life into 2 more trees, that is Vasudeva and Devaki. They have been shriveled without their sons' loving exchanges. And when they see their son for the first time in the battleground, what happens when you give water to the tree or a plant which has been shriveled without water for a long time? Initially they become little more shriveled. And Vasudeva and Devaki they get more anxiety. Why we have been responsible for bringing Krishna over here? Kamsa will kill him. But very soon, Kamsa was finished by Krishna. And that's how Krishna brings the new life into the Vasudeva and Devaki's life. We see in Srila Prabhupada's life also that in property of Juhu, there was a big battle, long battle, which took so many efforts, so much of anxiety on the part of so many devotees. And Srila Prabhupada was just going ahead with that battle. And after that prolonged battle, the chief opponent, when he dies, that time His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj was saying this story, that devotees asked Srila Prabhupada, this person was so much vicious. He had so much of envy, so much of a poison in his heart for yourself. Will he not become a snake in the next life? And Srila Prabhupada says that no, he will not become snake. Because he helped us to get the property of Juhu, he will get a human life in the next birth. So that is the position that anybody like Putna, like this person, they came in touch even out of envy, hatred towards a pure devotee. That hatred and that envy does not have much meaning. But there is only one thing, is they are transformed by their association, by the touch of mercy with that pure devotee. They are transformed into the most fortunate person. We see one of our God sisters' life recently, she passed away, Her Grace Anjani Priya Mataji. She was serving in one of our Bhaktivedanta hospital in a spiritual care department as a simple garland maker. She was all alone in her life. No happiness in family life, no children. Husband left her, and physically also he was left. Working, got a job in one railway post. Struggling. One day she was diagnosed as having a cancer of lungs. Slowly this cancer was spreading. Devotees went and brought her from the railway hospital. She was alone in that room. And when she was brought at the hospital, the cancer was already spreading fast. Very painful situation. You cannot breathe, you cannot turn around, you cannot do any activity. And that pressure on the lungs and on the heart was causing back pressure changes. Her hands were swollen, her face was swollen because blood was not going because of that cancer growth. And this extremely painful situation, she was chanting the holy name of the Lord. She was trying to hear Srila Prabhupada's words. And one day when devotees went early morning, she was as light as feather. And devotee asked, Mataji, what happened? Till yesterday you were in so much of agony. And she said, yesterday night I had a dream. And Srila Prabhupada came in my dream and he said, Anjani Priya, don't worry. Enough of this body. I am waiting for you. And she was as light as feather. As we reach our destination from a long journey, our dearmost ones, what they do, first they take away our luggage, our burden, and then they take us from the train down. Srila Prabhupada came and took away all the burden of her pain, and she was as light as feather. And then she was chanting the holy name of the Lord. When devotees went early morning, in that stage also she was ready to greet devotees, basa basa, she was saying, where she could not even lift her eyelid. In that stage also, her etiquette of a Vaishnavi was still maintained. We see in Bhishma Pitamaha's life, Vaishnava etiquette, how he greets Lord. And then His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu came. He chanted for her many rounds. And in the late night, middle of the night, 1:30 a.m., His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj chanted one full round for her. And within moments, she left her body. So that fortune we have of being with this Srila Prabhupada's movement. We have got this physical body with all its miseries and all its pains and difficulties and deficiencies. But our greatest fortune is we have somehow been given this touch, this merciful touch with the movement of Srila Prabhupada. Many years back, we used to go to Barsana for ICAM. And in Ras Mandir, we used to sleep in the night with the open skies. And what we used to see, the whole sky used to be filled with cluster of stars. And this we have never seen anywhere else. At least I have never seen so much of thick conglomeration of all the stars in that area. And my speculation, I used to speculate that yes, all these planets want to see the supreme abode of Lord. But over the years we have seen that this movement of Srila Prabhupada, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, in this movement, we see every moment such wonderful personalities, such wonderful luminaries. Nowhere on this planet Earth, such concentrated, wonderful, pure-hearted personalities we meet. And that is our greatest fortune. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any comments? Any questions? Hare Krishna.